Yesterday, we told you about a tragic situation in West Texas that left one Border Patrol agent dead and another critically injured. According to Border Patrol union officials, the agents were attacked by rocks with illegal aliens throwing them. But over on CNN, they're introducing other theories.
Several Texas officials refer to some kind of attack on these two agents. But the local sheriff told the Dallas Morning News, quote, "The injuries to Martinez, after talking to his doctors, were consistent with a fall. Very consistent with a fall."
Joining us now are two men with insider knowledge of the situation. Brandon Judd is the president of the National Border Patrol Council, and he joins us from Bozeman, Montana. And from McAllen, Texas, is Chris Cabrera, a spokesman for the National Border Patrol Council. Chris, I want to talk to you first because when I heard about this tragic incident, of course, I think about Brian Terry. I think about so many of the Border Patrol agents over the years who've lost their lives protecting our border. Very dangerous situation. But it was understood first that there were multiple head injuries. Tell us about why that theory bandied about on CNN may not be accurate.
Well, if you look from where it's believed that the agents were attacked, I guess as CNN says, where they fell from, the area around it, it's a culvert. It's not a ravine. It's about 9 feet off the ground.
We have pictures of it, Chris. Yeah, we have pictures of it, which we're going to show as you're speaking. So go ahead. Yeah,
it's a sandy, dirt-like surface as far as the ground goes. And if somebody fell there, I mean, it's 9 feet off the ground. Is it possible that they could have died from that? It's possible, but it's highly unlikely. The way they make this sound is that he went down some deep ravine, and that's just not the case. It was a culvert on the side of the road. These agents know that culvert's there. It's right off of I-10. It's not like that took them by surprise. And then for both agents to be, struck or struck in the same manner, it's highly unlikely, and I don't understand if it had been an accident, why is it taking 4 days, 3.5 days for them to figure out or rule out that it's an accident? On top of that, they're offering $25,000 reward to the FBI. If it's an accident, who would possibly be able to collect that reward? That tells you that sheriff doesn't know. I hate to be rude, but he doesn't really know what he's talking about.
Brandon, let's go to you on this. Clearly, if this had been an attack by some type of cartel-affiliated group of individuals, illegal immigrants or not, that would, of course, bolster the president's argument that we need real border security. We need to empower the Border Patrol, we need more of them, and we need a wall. But if it's an accident, well, it just either drove off into that culvert, which doesn't seem very tall to me, sandy, they fell off, and just hit their head and died. Then that doesn't really add to the argument of the wall, does it?
It doesn't. And if you look at it, dangerous borders are the reality today, and that's what we deal with on a daily basis. But if you look at all the facts surrounding this particular incident, this agent was out there specifically looking for what we call foot sign or footprints in the ground. He found some, he radioed it in, he said that this is good foot sign. He himself got out on foot and he started to follow these footprints in the dirt up to an area. If I could paint a picture for your viewers, if they're playing hide and seek, if you're the one that's hiding, you're going to see the person that's coming looking for you, especially if they have a flashlight in hand. These individuals that were hiding, they were able to attack these agents and they were able to take the agents out. Very, very common. It could happen to any agent at any time. I mean, I can tell you from my own perspective as a canine handler, I arrested 57 illegal aliens by myself with my canine partner. That situation could have gone bad very, very quickly, and in this particular case, it did go bad, and that's because we have dangerous borders.
And Chris, back to you on this. I think most Americans watching this tonight, they hear about the border, but if they don't live, near where you live, McAllen or El Paso, they don't really get what it's like. It's dangerous for property owners. It's dangerous for residents. It affects morale of Border Patrol agents when they don't feel like they're getting the support or the credibility that they deserve. And this spills over into the country at large, and President Trump is trying to do something about this. Congress continues to drag its feet. Continues.
Yeah, you know what? People need to understand, people that don't live here on the border, they need to understand how it affects them, the rest of the country as a whole. For instance, these folks that are coming through, a lot of people come through this area, a great number of people come through this area. The thing is, the majority of them don't stay here. They're funneling into the rest of the country, the Atlantas, the Houstons, the New Yorks, the middle America, and 20% of the people we encounter have criminal history. And it's just it's an ongoing thing. And at some point, we need to get serious about this border security. We need the infrastructure, we need the manpower, but more than anything, we need that political will to get it done, because without that, we're just going to continue spinning our wheels, and incidents like this are going to continue to happen. Incidents like the Kate Steinle murder are going to continue to happen. It's just an ongoing thing.
Well, it's needles in a haystack, and meanwhile, we're putting the lives of good men and women in the Border Patrol in jeopardy, and most of the time there's no reason for it if we actually have a secure border. Thank you to both of you for your service to this country.